Hello everyone, welcome to Physics Analysis YouTube channel. Today we will discuss plus one physics. Actually today we will start the first unit, of course the first chapter, physical world, right? Today we shall discuss physical world. तो आइए देखते हैं. Let us dive into the physical world, right? So the topic is physical world. The topic is physical world. Okay, no one can define science exactly, but yes, you can give your point of view. What is my point of view? In what way I will define science? First of all, let me tell you that science, the word science has been derived from a Greek word scientia. Greek word scientia, which mean to know. Which mean to know. Right? So the word science has been derived from a Greek word scientia, which mean to know. In Hindi, vigyan, and in Arabic, ilm, convey the same meaning, that is knowledge. So basically science is what? Nothing but a knowledge, but of course some specified. What is my perspective? According to me, science is nothing but a systematic and organized knowledge. Science is nothing but a systematic and organized knowledge about the various things around us obtained through observation experiment. Right? The word science, of course, the word science has been derived from a Greek word scientia, which means to know. In Hindi, vigyan, in Arabic, ilm convey the same meaning, that is knowledge. But what we can say that science is a systematic and organized knowledge. Science is systematic and organized knowledge. Science is a experiment. So what basically knowledge about the various things around us obtained through, means what kind of knowledge? That knowledge which is obtained through observation and experiment. Observation and experiment. This is the first two scientific approach. We will discuss later on scientific methods, that step by step approach that a scientist use, right, in order to study scientific phenomena. So that also we will discuss later on. But here what I am telling you, science is a systematic and organized knowledge about the various things around us obtained through observation experiment. Obtained through observation. फर्स्ट हमने ऑब्जर्व, पहले हम ऑब्जर्व करेंगे और उसके बाद एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे, उसके बाद जो हमें नॉलेज मिला, दैट वी कॉल इट साइंस. सो मतलब हम कह सकते हो तुम कि सावधानी पूर्वक और क्रमबद्ध तरीके से, ओके, मनुष्यों द्वारा, हम मनुष्य के ही द्वारा, ऑब्वियसली भी मनुष्य, तो मनुष्यों द्वारा सावधानी पूर्वक और क्रमबद्ध तरीके से किए गए प्रयोग और प्रेक्षणों के द्वारा हमारे आसपास जो भी वस्तुएं हैं, ऑफ कोर्स उस वस्तु पर ही, तो हमारे आसपास जो कुछ भी वस्तुएं हैं उसके ऊपर क्रमबद्ध तरीके से, ठीक है ना, सावधानी पूर्वक और क्रमबद्ध तरीके से किए गए प्रयोग और प्रेक्षणों के द्वारा जो ज्ञान मिलता है, दैट ज्ञान, दैट नॉलेज, वी कॉल इट साइंस. Okay, science is of course a systematic and discussed. What about science? Now let us talk about the branches of science. See, in this chapter now we will discuss everything. We will disclose each and everything. What is science? What is physics? What is the scope of physics? What is the excitement of physics? What is the domain of physics? Okay, how we actually approach, how a scientist approach, and in order to discuss theories. Okay, everything we will discuss in this chapter in detail. So this chapter is the most important chapter, okay, in order to dive into the world of physics. So this chapter you can see a pool of physics. We are going to dive this chapter you can consider a pool of physics, where we are we are going to dive into, right? Okay, so let us discuss of science. What do you think now? How many type of science? Well, science is divided, let me tell you, this science is divided into two broad category. Okay, na? The science has been derived, science is divided into two broad category. The first one is pure science, and second one is applied science. Now pure science, that we call it, you can say it is basic science also. Pure science, the basic science, is further divided into two more broad category, right? The first one is physical science, and the second one is life science. Life science is also known as biology. Yes, life science is also known as biology, which is further divided into two more broad category that you know better, and botany and zoology, plant organisms and animal, right? But in the first part, but on the other hand, physical science is further divided into physics and chemistry, and second one is chemistry. Okay, so these two things are there, where in chemistry we are discussing it is one of the branch of science, nature and its behavior. Okay, na? Where chemistry is the branch of science which deals with matter and its behavior, where the physics is one of the branch of science which deals with nature and its phenomena, प्रकृति और उससे संबंधित घटना, that we are discussing in physics. But chemistry is dealing with matter and its behavior. Okay, उसके बर्ताव कैसे होगा, हाइड्रोजन हीलियम के साथ क्या बर्ताव करेगा, हाइड्रोजन ऑक्सीजन के साथ क्या बर्ताव करेगा, तो वो बर्ताव की जो स्टडी होगी, that we will discuss in chemistry. And of course the nature and its phenomena, it has a broader sense. Come on, nature and its phenomena. Nature means everything around us, what we see, the beautiful world, everything which is visible to you comes under nature, and its phenomena like lightning, like raining, so many things are there. Feeling hot, feeling very cool, feeling very hot, all these are phenomena, and all these are coming under physics. What we are doing in physics, we are disclosing the physical event, the phenomena. Okay, so this is what now this physics, we are going to discuss this physics. Well, just now we discussed science and its branches of science. Now let us discuss physics and its branches. So what is physics? What do you think? Physics, the word physics has been derived from a Greek word. Just like science, physics is also derived from a Greek word, that is physis. The word physics has been derived from a Greek word physis, which means nature. Means science of nature. Okay, na? Natural science. Physics is actually natural science. Physics is nothing but a natural science, you can call, right? So what is physics? The word, first of all, let us see that let me say that physics is also derived from a Greek word physis, which means nature. So physics is basically natural science. What is this? Physics is basically natural science. And yes, physics is the branch of science which deals with nature and its phenomena. Physics is the branch of science. Physics is one of the branch of science. Physics is that branch of science. Physics is that branch of science which deals with nature and its phenomena. Physics is that branch of science. You can say that or the, no issue. Physics is the branch of science which deals with nature and its phenomena, right? Let us see the branch of physics, right? So what are the branch of physics? Let me discuss the branch of physics, right? So I am writing some major branches of physics. You see, one of the major branch of physics is mechanics. You can't forget mechanics. ये बहुत रुलाने वाला है +1 स्टूडेंट्स. Listen, first we will go through this mechanics only, okay na, after this physical world, when you will dive in motion in straight line, motion in a plane, laws of motion, all these are mechanics. So mechanics we will discuss. Of course, mechanics is actually classical quantum fluid. So we are dealing with classical mechanics, quantum mechanics and fluid mechanics. Okay, so mechanics is one of the major branch of physics. After that, second we are discussing optics. Optics, you know, na, study of light and light. We will discuss in detail. Third one, optics means light. Third, electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is what? This is also one of the major branch of physics. Electromagnetism completely summarized into electricity, magnetism, radiations. Okay. Next जो है next thermodynamics. Study of heat and temperature we will discuss. Okay. Next, after thermodynamics it is relativity. Okay, these are some major branches of physics. Next is condensed matter. Right, this is also one of the major branch of physics. Next, nuclear physics. Okay, and apart from this, if we talk some interdisciplinary field of physics, which is still a part of physics, of course, which is still the part of research. Interdisciplinary field of physics. Under this, you see, from a Greek word physis, meaning nature. Physics is nothing but a natural science. You can say physics is the branch of science which deals with nature and its phenomena. Now, what are the major branches of physics? I would like to outline these many branches of physics, like mechanical physics, one of the most important, of course, one of the major branch of physics, mechanics. Okay, classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, fluid mechanics comes under mechanics. Optics, ray optics, wave optics we will discuss, okay, in +1, +2, study of light. Electromagnetism, like mechanics, electromagnetism. Okay, first 5 chapter. you know, half of the year students are enrolled in electromagnetism in plus 2, and half of the year, almost half of the session in plus 1 physics, students are enrolled in mechanics. So these two are major branch of physics, okay, mechanics and electromagnetism for plus 1, and this is for plus 2 students. Next is thermodynamics. Of course, this is also there in plus 1. Thermodynamics we will discuss relativity, okay, and then condensed matter physics, nuclear physics. These are some major branch of physics. Other than this, if we go for interdisciplinary field of physics, here astrophysics, biophysics, econophysics, mathematical physics, engineering physics, information and technology, okay? Of course, this intelligence, artificial intelligence also, astro, cosmo, robo, nano, STEM. These are the, you know, so many things are there, right? So this is the world of physics. Well, now we see what are the chapters and the units we are going to discuss throughout this year, right? So let us discuss. So what is this plus 1 physics? First we will discuss physical world. First we will discuss physical world, right? Next we will discuss unit and measurement. So these two chapter comes under first unit. So unit 1, actually let me tell you that this plus 1 physics is summarized into 10 unit, total number of unit 10, total number of chapters 15. How they are divided, let us see. Physical world, unit and measurement, okay. Number 3, motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line, third chapter. Fourth chapter you will discuss motion in a plane. Fourth one we will discuss motion in a plane, and fifth one is laws of motion, right? So physical world, unit and measurement, motion in a straight line, motion in a plane, laws of motion. First 5 chapter. 6th chapter, let us see. 6th chapter is work, energy and power. We will discuss in this chapter what is work, what is energy and what is power, and how all three are interconnected. 7th number, system of particle and rotational motion. Next we will discuss gravitation, the most interesting chapter for a student. Gravitation, we will discuss in detail gravitation, don't worry. Okay, 9 number. Ninth one is mechanical property of solid. Mechanical property of solid. Next we will discuss. Next you will read mechanical property of fluid, right? Then thermal property. Then you will discuss thermal property of matter, and then you will read thermodynamics, chapter number 12, thermodynamics. Well, and 13 is kinetic theory of gas, KTG. 13 is KTG, kinetic theory of gas. And what is 14? 14 is oscillation, and 15 is wave. Well, so students, these are the 15 chapters which you will cover in this entire session. These two comes under same unit, okay, physical world, unit number 1, and unit 2 is motion in a straight line, motion in a plane. These two, unit 2, and this one is itself a unit. So 1, 2, 3. Next, this is unit. 7th unit is these 3. These 3 is 7th unit, and this is 8th unit, this is 9th unit, and this is 10th unit. So this is unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, unit number 4, unit number 5, unit number 6, unit number 7, unit number 8, unit 9, and unit 10. So this way 10 units are there, and total number of chapters 15. Clear? Most of the student and teacher, they are getting enrolled in this first 5 chapter. Okay, first important 6 months they are giving in these first 5 chapters only, and last 2-3 months they are, within this 2-3 months they are completing these many chapters. But let me tell you, +1 real physics is this many chapters. After this 5, means after this laws of motion, working as in power system of particle, gravitation, mechanical property of solid, fluid, thermodynamics, strategy, oscillation, wave. These many chapters are most important. Real physics +1 bole to these many chapters. But what is the trend, nowadays? In tuition centers, coaching centers, they are extending and they are giving day by day, tarikh par tarikh. Okay, they are extending days, and the students are also getting enrolled. First 5, 6, 7 months they are studying these only. What you are studying? Sir, unit and measurement. What you are studying? Sir, motion in a straight line. Arey bhai, these are basic chapters. Okay, you can easily cover these many chapters. Motion in a straight line, motion in a plane, laws of motion. These are basic chapters. Real physics after this. Real physics in +1 in your class is after these 5 chapters. So finish this many 5 chapters as soon as possible and get enrolled in these many chapters. Okay, more and more. Now now let us discuss scientific method. What do you think? What is scientific method? Yes, that step-by-step approach. In the beginning, I defined science. The word science has been derived from a Greek word scientia, which meant to know. In Hindi, Vigyan, or Arabic, in Arabic, ilm convey the same meaning, that is knowledge. Science is nothing but a systematic and organized knowledge about the various things around us, obtained through observation, experiment. That observation, yes, that observation, experiment, systematic, organized. These are the step-by-step, approach. So how we have categorized, okay, that method that a scientist use in order to understand the natural phenomena, that we call it scientific method. So what is scientific method? Let us write. Scientific method, right? So what I will write in scientific method? The step by step approach govern it. We can write for scientific method that what is scientific method? That step by step approach used by a scientist in order to study natural phenomena. Yes, so in order to understand, like one natural phenomena is there, how we will understand this natural phenomena. So that we have some steps that we will write, and we have some steps, we will follow that steps. After that, of course, that step by step approach used by a scientist. Again I repeat, listen the word very clearly. Okay, that step by step, the step by step approach by a scientist in order to understand, or else in order to study natural phenomena, and of course by stabilizing laws which govern it, that we call it scientific method. And what are these step by step, these scientific methods? As follow. Number 1, systematic observation. Systematic observation. First of all, we will observe the phenomena. Okay, what is the phenomena? Actually, we will observe. So of course, a scientist first will observe. The step 1 is observing the phenomena. First of all, you observe what is there, and then controlled experiment. Controlled experiment. Okay, perform. Yes, of course, you perform a number of experiments. Yes, but it should be controlled. It's not like one अंगीठी is there. अंगीठी means चूल्हा, you know, और चूल्हा है, उसमें हाथ डाल दिए. हाँ भाई, हम देख रहे हैं कि what is going on. Understood? So it should be controlled experiment. Step 2 is controlled experiment. Step 3 is qualitative or quantitative reasoning. Okay, so qualitative और quantitative wise, quality wise भी चेक करेंगे, quantity wise भी चेक करेंगे, right? Reasoning, it is your thought process. Next, step number 4 is mathematical modeling. Of course, we will use some mathematics and some calculations. Okay, step number 5 is prediction, and then we will predict what might be happen, and what can be happen. We will predict what can be happen, and lastly we will verification and falsification of theories. So these are scientific method. Step 1 is a systematic observation. First of all, you observe, okay, in a systematized manner, and next one is a controlled experiment. Just now I said how controlled, in a controlled way you need to perform the experiment. Third one is qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Okay, and fourth step is mathematical modeling. So you will imply some calculations also. We will use mathematics also. You see, when apple fallen, okay, and how the earth is revolving around the around the sun. So there how we introduce gravitation. So firstly we observe the phenomena. Yes, this is something is getting attracted toward this. And then we introduce, after so many experiment, of course, done by the scientist, and after checking qualitative and quantitative reasoning, we introduce some calculations also. You see, in gravitation, we introduce the, how much is the amount of force that is exerted by the, by one body on another body. So there we introduce F is equal to G into M1 into M2 by R square. So we are using mathematical calculations, okay. And next जो है, after that we predict what can happen, and then we verify, we go for the conclusion, that is the verification of theory, or else if not satisfied, you are not satisfied, it is not verified, so we go for falsification. Theory false हो गया, or else theory approve हो गया, verify हो गया. So this is how we approach. So that is the step-by-step approach that a scientist use in understanding natural phenomena and stabilizing laws which govern it, that we call it scientific methods. These are the methods, these are the steps that we follow. First, systematic observation, controlled experiment, qualitative, quantitative reasoning, mathematical modeling, prediction, and then verification or falsification of theory, right? Okay, let us go for the next topic. Before moving to the next in this chapter, I recall something. See, Einstein statement. You should know about. I thought to share to you, so that's why I am writing. You see, first of all, let me write, okay. I will write two statements, two famous statements stated by Albert Einstein, that are first one was, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that the most So this is one of the statement. And second one is that no number of experiment can prove me wrong. Right? These two statements was stated by one of the greatest scientists of the era, Albert Einstein. So these two statements I just thought to share you. So these two statements is very famous, right? One is the most incomprehensible thing about our universe is that it is comprehensible. So what does it mean? It means that we can predict natural phenomena. We can understand our universe if we can. Right? What he has said, I love it, yaar. This is one of the, famous quotation. The most incomprehensible thing about our universe is that it is comprehensible. Wow, what a line. What a line, Einstein sir, salute. That means we can predict natural phenomena. We can understand our universe if we can, right? And number two is no number of experiment can prove me right. This is obviously in our day-to-day life also. You relate this line. You can relate this line in your day-to-day life. No number of experiment can prove you right, but a single experiment can prove you wrong. That means there is always a possibility of change. there is always a possibility of change. Okay, so let us move on. First, the two thrust of physics, right? So I am writing thrust of physics. See, in order to study physics, we approach the following two principles. The two principal approach. What are these two? So the one is unification, and the second one is reductionism. Or else you can call it reduction. So the first one is unification and second one is reduction. मतलब जोड़ो and तोड़ो. This unification means जोड़ना and reduction means तोड़ना, divide. Okay, so I am telling you what are these two. So first of all, let us see that the study of physics is actually based on two principal approach. These two only we call it two basic thrust of physics or two basic principle of physics. Okay, so one is unification, another one is reductionism. We can call it reduction. So what is unification? Let us discuss one by one. What is unification? What do you think? Unification. See, I am writing here unification. What is this unification? And what is this reduction? Reductionism. Reduction. What is this unification? So let us first discuss unification. See, you see, unifying different law valid for different phenomena into a single theory. So unifying different laws valid for different phenomena into a single theory, valid for different phenomena, yeah, by a single theory. That is called unification. अब how you see apple, okay, falling of an apple, ठीक है, एक घटना हो गया, एप्पल का गिरना एक अलग घटना है. और तुम देखो रिवॉल्विंग ऑफ प्लैनेट ये दूसरी घटना है. एप्पल का गिरना, रिवॉल्विंग ऑफ प्लैनेट ये दूसरी घटना है. एंड पेंडुलम मोशन ये तीसरी घटना है. डू यू थिंक दिस थ्री आर सेम? यू विल टेल सर नो सर, हाउ इट कैन बी सेम, हाउ इट कैन बी सेम. एप्पल अलग चीज़ है, एप्पल भाई पेड़ से गिर गया, पता नहीं कैसे गिरा, ठीक है, और ये तो अलग ही फिनोमेना हो गया, रिवॉल्विंग अ प्लैनेट एंड दिस पेंडुलम हो क्या. बट येस वी कैन यूनिफाई दिस थ्री बाय अ सिंगल थ्योरी. Okay, that is law of gravitation. So gravitation. So we are explaining three different phenomena into a single law of gravitation. Same way, one more example if I would like to give you, okay, like KVL, you know na, KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Later on you will come to know, you will discuss what is KCL and KVL, ठीक है. Next is Bernoulli principle, Lenz law. All three we could explain by law of conservation of energy. Okay, so this way we unify हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जो अलग अलग फिनोमेना है फिजिक्स में, इस फिजिक्स को समझने के लिए, फिजिक्स को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए, what we have done, we have started unifying different phenomena which we can unify. अब ये नहीं कि ये वो अब सबको जोड़ दो, ठीक है, which we can, like with the help of gravitation you can explain why apple fall from a tree, ठीक है, from apple tree of course, and why a planet revolve around the sun, why a pendulum is moving, okay, continuously. This we can, why a water flow into a river. A number of phenomena are there associating with this gravitation, that all phenomena you can explain with a single law of gravitation. Okay, same way I discussed this Kirchhoff's voltage law and this Lenz's law, very much important. पास आओगे तो आने नहीं देंगे, दूर जाओगे तो जाने नहीं देंगे. This famous quotation is there. Teacher will explain. Next, Bernoulli theorem also. Of course, these three you can explain by law of conservation of energy. Okay, so this is unification. This is how we unify different laws valid for different phenomena by a single law. Clear? Next जो है, let us go for reductivism, means reduction. So here what we do, we reducing into, you see, reducing into simpler form, okay, to understand a complex problem. You see, we are doing in our day-to-day life also, right? We are, what we do, suppose कोई बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, कोई कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रॉब्लम है, तो हाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड, सो वी व्हाट वी डू, वी विल रिड्यूस, हम उसको तोड़ देंगे. लाइक किराना शॉप ऑल्सो, they are also doing this, they are also using this unification and reductivism, this reduction method, right? So what we do, we will reduce into simpler form, okay, to understand a complex problem. Like suppose what to say, अब thermal property, ठीक है ना, example, see thermal physics, okay, thermal physics. अब thermal physics is a big, a complex problem. अब how to understand the whole thermal physics? So what we have done, we have we have divided thermal physics into thermodynamics, we have divided into thermodynamics, we have divided into KTG, kinetic theory of gas, we can divide into thermal property. So in order to understand thermal physics, हम क्या करेंगे, थर्मल प्रॉपर्टी की स्टडी कर लेंगे, थर्मोडायनेमिक्स की अलग स्टडी कर लेंगे, केटीजी काइनेटिक थ्योरी ऑफ गैस उसकी स्टडी अलग से कर लेंगे, उसकी स्टडी कर लेंगे. सो दिस वे वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड द होल थर्मल फिजिक्स. सो दिस वे दिस टू मेथड इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, ओके, इन दिस चैप्टर, आपको इन दिस चैप्टर दिस फिजिकल वर्ल्ड. So these two thrust of physics is there, unification, reductivism. Unification means unifying different law valid for different phenomena by a single theory. How we have unified falling an apple, revolving of a planet, pendulum motion by a single theory, that is law of gravitation. Next जो है, again we have seen this, okay, reductivism. Under reduction what we are doing, we are reducing what we are reducing, okay, we are reducing means we are dividing into simpler simpler forms to understand a complex problem in an easy way. So this is how we approach So these two are the two thrusts of physics. Okay, let us move on. Well, now we will discuss domain of physics. What is this? Domain of physics. अब physics की क्या domain है? Let us discuss. Physics, right? So basically two domain we are discussing, microscopic physics and macroscopic physics. But here I am telling you one more domain, that is mesoscopic physics. Yes, that lie in between these two, micro and macro. So let us understand. One is macroscopic domain. The second one is mesoscopic domain, and third one is microscopic domain. Mesoscopic domain, and this one is a macroscopic domain, right? So we have divided physics into three parts. One is a macroscopic physics, another one is microscopic, very small, too small, okay, particle, microscopic physics, and this one is mesoscopic, which lie of course in between these two. So let us discuss one by one. First let us discuss macroscopic domain. क्या है फिजिक्स की जो मैक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन है, that is of course governed by classical physics, right? So here I must write governed by classical, all right, governed by classical physics, okay, deals with object in large scale, which you can see and can interact, okay. And you see mechanics, especially classical mechanics or fluid mechanics. Why? Because quantum comes under a microscopic domain, right? Magnetism, electromagnetism, thermodynamics, so you see under a macroscopic domain, okay, first of all let me tell you that it is governed by classical mechanics, classical physics, and this macroscopic domain we deals in object which is in large scale, of course which we can see and we can interact with. And what are the topic comes under this macroscopic domain? So the topics are mechanics, but remember in mechanics, classical mechanics is there, quantum mechanics is there, fluid mechanics is there. Here classical and fluid, don't go with quantum. Next is electromagnetism, thermodynamics. These topics comes under macroscopic domain. Now I am taking you to the microscopic domain, okay. Lastly we will discuss mesoscopic domain. Clear? Okay, so microscopic domain is governed by modern physics, right? Especially by quantum physics. Of course, microscopic domain comes under modern, but especially under quantum. Clear? Next is this microscopic domains जो है ना deals with too small particles or object, what you call particles or subatomic particle, too small particles. So deals with the too small particle, of course, atomic and subatomic level. Right. So that microscopic domain governed by quantum physics, and this microscopic domain deals with very small particle, atomic or subatomic level, subatomic scale, what you call. And what are the topic comes under microscopic domain? Atomic physics, nuclear physics, quantum mechanics, right, where classical fails. So there we explain by quantum. So that is microscopic domain, right? Now I am taking you to the mesoscopic domain, which lies in between micro and macro, right? This I am telling about mesoscopic domain. So mesoscopic domain of physics lies in between, I mean it is a bridge in between micro and macro, that is mesoscopic domain. So what we are dealing with here under mesoscopic deals with small but still consists of atoms. So both are important here, microscopic and macroscopic. Okay, both is required. Why? Because you see in mesoscopic we deals with the object, of course, which is small and still consists of atoms. So here both are important. This micro and macro both topic comes under this mesoscopic. So you see nanoparticles, right? Technology, microchip, in a material science, molecules, these are coming under this mesoscopic domain of physics. Listen, again I am telling you, this mesoscopic lies in between these two, micro and macro, deals with a small object but still consists of atoms. So here both classical also you will require, quantum also you will require, both is required here. And these are the things coming under this mesoscopic: nanoparticles, technology, microchip, material science, biological molecules. Okay, these are the, okay, this is how you can, okay. So moving on to the next topic. Now let us study scope and excitement of physics. Scope and excitement of physics. I am also excited to know this topic. Scope and excitement of physics. So the topic is scope and excitement of physics. Scope and excitement of physics. Okay. So let us first discuss scope of physics. What are the scope of physics? You see, physics is one of the most exciting field of science. अच्छा, why I am telling this? Because physics जो है ना, physics helps us to understand the fundamental nature of reality. From smallest to the vastest particle, from smallest to the vastest particle of our universe. And what to say, scope of physics is immense. So let us see. You see, so let us see the scope of physics. So taking from classical physics, so its scope is immense, right? If we go in classical, so under classical physics, you see, we study Newton's law, right? Newton's law, mechanics is there, thermodynamics is there, electromagnetism is there, just under classical. I am showing you the scope of physics, don't worry. And of course we can go further, we can go in search of transportation. So you see scope, it's a world of transportation now, right? People are always in hurry to go from here to there, from India to China, from India to America, from India to Japan, from Japan to India. People are always in hurry. Okay, so under classical, you see Newton's law is there, mechanics. Okay, so many things are there under mechanics, thermodynamics, electromagnetism. Okay, if we just move to modern physics, you see I am showing you the scope. Under modern, quantum physics is there. Okay, that particle physics, relativity, don't forget relativity. Okay. In modern physics, if we go for astro or cosmology, you see the scope, black hole, okay, black hole, neutron star, right? You see dark matter, अरे भैया बिग बैंग, how you can forget big bang and evolution. ठीक है, ये जो इतना बड़ा दुनिया कहाँ से कैसे, यूनिवर्स, द होल यूनिवर्स एंड इट्स एवोल्यूशन, बिग बैंग एंड एवोल्यूशन, डार्क मैटर, ब्लैक होल, दिस what I have written, neutron star. Okay, and apart from this, अच्छा, the real scope here under this astro and cosmo, okay, search of extraterrestrial life. You know, people nowadays, NASA, ISRO, okay, if we trust him, Elon Musk, अगर एलोन मस्क की माने तो 2056, बाय 2056 people community may start their life in Mars. So yeah, of course, in extraterrestrial life, okay, scope is there under this astro and cosmology. Okay, if we go for applied science, if we go for applied, applied physics. So you see, I am showing you the scope. You are asking the scope, na? You see, in applied physics, we are you can go for technology. Hello. You see, in applied physics, we are you can go for technology. Laser, semiconductor, computing, right? So scope we have done. Now let us go for excitement of physics, and let us see the excitement of physics now. Well, so that was the scope of physics. Now let us discuss excitement of physics. Why physics is so exciting? Let us see. Excitement of physics. Well, we are discussing why physics is so exciting. Come on, why physics is so exciting? Well, I will say it answer philosophical questions. That's why physics is exciting. Practical life, practical application, shape technology and daily life. Yes, that's why physics is exciting. It answers philosophical questions. Practical application shape technology and daily life. It constantly evolve groundbreaking discoveries. It challenges our imagination, like time travel, parallel universe, right? That's why physics is so exciting. Why physics is so exciting? Why? Because it answers philosophical questions. Practical applications shape technology and daily life. It constantly involves with groundbreaking discoveries. Okay, it challenges our imagination, like time travel, parallel universe, etc. and etc. So that is why physics is exciting. Okay, okay. So we are so close to the end of this chapter. Okay, so here now we will discuss for the four fundamental force in nature. Yes. सही सुना. अच्छा, how many type of forces are there? Actually, four fundamental forces are there in nature. So today we will discuss these four fundamental force in nature. में ना यही चार fundamental force है. कौन कौन सा? So let us discuss. Fundamental force in nature. So these four fundamental forces are there in nature. Number one, the gravitational force. Gravitational force. Number two, electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force. Number three, strong nuclear force. Number four, weak nuclear force. So these four fundamental forces are there in nature. Yeah, you might be thinking, sir, then normal force, what about the normal force, tensile force, spring force, and etc. etc. Yes, all these are coming under electromagnetic force, right? Normal force, we can explain normal force in electromagnetic force, frictional force, electromagnetic force. Okay, tension force, electromagnetic force, spring force, electromagnetic force. All these are electromagnetic force only. Now these four only are there, four fundamental force. One is gravitational force, electromagnetic force, third one is strong nuclear force, and fourth one is weak nuclear force. आइए समझते हैं वन बाय वन. What is gravitational? First of all, let us discuss about gravitational force. Gravitational force. See, you know about gravitational force. So many times you have read about this. Okay. So what is this gravitational force? Tell. See, you know na, every object in this universe attract every another object by a force. So the force by which every object attract every another object, okay, in this universe, that we call it gravitational force. Yes, gravitational force is developed by virtue of mass. So if in this world, अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि एक फोटोन पार्टिकल है and what is the force of attraction between two photon particles? Nothing, no. Photon particle has no mass. This force is applicable between two mass. Suppose 2 point mass is there, m1 and m2. So you know there is a force of interaction between these two. That we call it force, the gravitational force. This force, you know, F is equal to G into m1 into m2 by r square. This is the gravitational force. Okay. So what is this gravitational force? I am writing. Some points are there that I am writing. Already you know, we will discuss by the way in detail in upcoming chapters. So here just we are discussing, okay, simply. So you can write by virtue of mass of the body. Yani what is the basic cause of gravitational force? Mass. If a body has mass, then it will definitely comes under gravitation, right? Second thing is always attractive in nature, always attractive in nature, never repulsive. Means every object in this universe attract every another object, right? Next is it obey inverse square law. अच्छा, इनवर्स लॉ, इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल और इनवर्स स्क्वायर, both is difference. Understood? I mean, you can see here f is inversely proportional to r square. Means if the distance of separation will become twice, means double, okay na, if the distance of separation will be double, then the force of, I mean, force of gravitation, yeah, gravitational force will become 1/4, right? So this is how it works. So you know it obey inverse square law, and of course it is conservative in nature. It is conservative, mechanical energy is conserved, conservative. Okay, next what else we can write? Okay, here exchange particle is graviton, graviton, exchange particle is graviton, right? Yes, it is the weakest force in nature. It is the weakest force in nature. You see, one by one all the forces we are discussing, little bit discussion is there, not in detail, and these are the main point under gravitational force. That basic cause of gravitation is mass, always attracting in nature, never repulsive, obey inverse square law, it is conservative, exchange particle, you know, there is exchange in particles, okay, then only this force takes place. Like in every forces, right from here to here, you are seeing na, gravitational force, electrostatic force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. In all four there is a, you know, what you called so-called, there is a so-called exchange particles. Like here exchange particle is graviton, graviton is being exchanged by these two body, and as a result we say that yes, gravitational force is acting in between these two. Daraasal it is due to the exchange of graviton. Okay, so next is it is conservative, all and of course it is weakest force in nature. बहुत ही weak force है ये. Here only we are discussing, right? Gravitational force we have discussed. Next is electromagnetic force. So number 2 is electromagnetic force, right? Okay. So let me tell you, like gravitational force. Acha, this is also long range force. Okay, this is also a long range force. So just like gravitational force, electromagnetic force is also a kind of long range force. Long range force, and it is attractive as well as repulsive. ठीक है ना? The force of interaction between charges. Okay, so it is also a kind of long range force, and electromagnetic force is attractive as well as repulsive. ये दोनों प्रकार के ये force होता है भाई. And it also obey inverse square law. Inverse square law, यहाँ पे भी आपका inverse square law फुलफिल होगा. ठीक है. you have read F is equal to K into Q1 into Q2 by R square. Okay. And yes, it is also conservative force. It is also, so here also mechanical energy is conserved. Yeah, here exchange particle is photon. Here exchange particle is photon. So here ये electromagnetic force is by virtue of charge. By virtue of charge, यानी electromagnetic force develop by virtue of charge. Okay, next let us go for strong nuclear force. What else we can say about strong nuclear force? Here only I am writing strong nuclear force, right? What about strong nuclear force? This is a short range force. Short range force है ये. Okay. Generally attractive होगा, of course. This is generally attractive. Generally attractive. Why? Because it is independent of charge and it acts in neutrino, I mean nucleons. Okay, strong. अच्छा, in strong nuclear force क्या है? You know ना, nucleus. Nucleus, you know nucleus. In nucleus, what are the particles present? Proton and neutrons. So the force which bind these two particles, I mean the force acting in between proton to proton, proton proton, neutron neutron, proton neutron. Okay, the force acting in between nucleons, that we call it strong nuclear force. So strong nuclear force is acting in between any two neutrons or protons or proton neutrons, right? So of course it is generally attractive. Why? Because attractive only, that's why proton and neutrons are present altogether into the nucleus. And what is the exchange particle here? Can you tell? Exchange particle is pi boson. Okay, exchange particle is pi boson. Of course it is short range force and non-conservative. Okay, non-conservative. Okay. Achha, what about this weak nuclear force? So let me tell you that weak nuclear force जो है ना, acting in radioactive nuclear force, acting in between the particles in emission during radioactive, especially in beta decay, right? And it is also a short range of force. It is also short range force. And what is the exchange particle here? Exchange particle is boson. Exchange particle is boson. In strong nuclear force, exchange particle is pi meson. And in electromagnetic force, exchange particle is photon. And in gravitational force, exchange particle is graviton. Okay, so these are the four fundamental force are there in nature.